Hello there, it's Paul Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. We have another great interview coming up for you shortly. But before we begin, as always, there's that bell and subscribe buttons down there. And hit both of them, and anytime a new episode comes your way, you'll be notified. And we'd love to hear from you in the comment section, so leave a comment there if you'd like. And we're on Facebook too. It's facebook.com/Paul Mash TV. And you can follow us there and comment on things you see, even send us an inbox. We'd love to hear from you. And we'd love to hear from you in email as well. It's paulmashtv, all one word, at gmail.com. And if you're a band or even a solo artist that want to be on the show, send us an email and we'll show you how to do that. But if you're just simply a fan, we'd love to hear from you in fan mail, so send us a letter and we'll get back to you. And all this is going to be recapped at the closing credits at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. From Nashville, Tennessee today, we have Batson Haines, a very awesome artist, and I think you're going to agree. And we're going to get to that in just a second, but first, here's a word from Galtar, the guitar made specifically for a woman. So don't go away, we'll be right back right after this.
Ready in 5.
Darling, when nothing else seems to match up. Galtar, the musical apparel that fits any outfit. Galtar, bringing heaven to earth, one gal at a time. GaltarHeaven.com.
Okay, we're back, and with us from Nashville, Tennessee, we have Batson Haines with us today. Thank you for joining us, guys.
Hey, thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. I'm Jeff Batson.
And I'm Eric Haines.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad to see you guys today. How did it all begin for you as far as being an artist goes? I mean, I'm sure you always wanted to be a singer since you were a little kid, but tell us in your own words.
Well, I guess my first experience with music was playing the saxophone in a grade school band. So I didn't really start singing, probably in church like most people. And, did that, played in bands in high school, and about 1997 decided to move here after, and I met Eric just a few years after I moved here in 97. So that's when we've been doing this probably 15 years as a duo.
Yeah, I've been playing music since 11. I started playing piano. My mother used to stand behind me with a ruler and she would threaten to beat me while I practiced my piano. I'd rather be outside playing baseball with my friends. But then I switched over to guitar about 13. I did my first concert when I was about 16 in my high school auditorium. And then I was kind of influenced by Crosby, Stills, and Nash, those people, and I just wanted to do that for the rest of my life.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a great story. I'm glad you two met, and I'm sure you'll have many years ahead of you doing this the duo thing.
Let's hope so.
And well, what are some of the influences that you guys have that you grew up with that helped influence you the band you are today?
Well, I'll speak for myself first. I mean, I grew up, my parents listened to country. That would have been in the 70s. Kenny Rogers, Ronnie Millsap, John Denver, those kind of people. And then I'm a product of the 80s. So I kind of got into rock and roll, REO Speedwagon, being from the St. Louis area originally. Midwest bands, I like the Sticks and all that kind of stuff. And so when we play cover gigs still, we do all kinds of everything from Bryan Adams to Merle Haggard, so those are really my influences.
Okay, what about you, sir?
I would say in the 70s, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, the Eagles, Bob Seger, pretty much all that stuff in the 80s. I could sing Bob Seger perfectly, like back then, and I had all those songs memorized. And that was kind of the Eagles probably were one of my biggest influences. And it's kind of funny because a lot of people, like the early Eagles, they considered them to be a country band. And but they really changed status and changed personnel, and became a rock band. But I mainly played rock for years, and then I moved to Nashville to write music. And so I was in Atlanta for a few years playing there, and then came to Nashville in 2004. I met Jeff about 15 years ago at a writer's night. And we've been writing, ever since then together and playing together. We've been playing 80 shows a year sometimes in the last few years. So it's been great.
Okay, yeah, those are some great bands too, like Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, as you mentioned, and you mentioned Haggard and Millsap, all those, they're really great bands, and I love all of them myself. So,
Yeah, we do a lot of all those artists throw in a show if we do a cover gig, and our harmonies, our voices are really different, but they blend well. So we're both fortunate in that respect. We both did this for a long time, solo, but there's just something special about, singing with Eric and writing with him.
Okay, well, tell everybody how we can find you. I mean, I'm sure you're on those streaming platforms, but are you on social media and
Yeah, we're
have an official website, so forth. Go ahead and say all that.
Yeah, I mean the website's batsonhaines.com. It's BATSONHAINES.com, and then Facebook/BatsonHaines, Instagram/BatsonHaines, Twitter or X now, I guess, /BatsonHaines. You can find stuff on YouTube. There's plenty of stuff out there. We did a record back in, see, I'm showing my age, a record back in 2016 that's out there. You can find it on all the digital purchasing platforms like Spotify and Apple Music and all that good stuff. And there's some good stuff on there. We've been in the studio quite a bit the last few months and have some new music we're getting ready to do something with here. The whole social media thing, you got to kind of stay on top of that and keep all your social pages updated, which we've learned is a full-time job, trying to keep everything current and stay engaged. But we're learning. Hard to teach an old dog new tricks sometimes, but we're getting there.
Okay, well, go to your favorite streaming media site and download his music. I know they will love you for that. And check him out on those social media sites and go to batsonhaines.com. And I know they would just fall in love with you with all that. And we're getting ready to watch this music video from you guys. It's called Santa's Got a Tailgate, I do believe it's called.
Just having a tailgate, yes, sir.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that. It has an interesting title to it. I'm sure it has self-explanatory, explanation behind it, but maybe it goes deeper than that.
Kind of came up with that idea and wrote the song. I don't know, we were thinking about what would be fun. And Eric we both have a good friend, Jay Cross, and he's like, yeah, let's do a video. And our friend Richard, the guy whose farm we did the video at, he used to own a cafe, Richard's Cafe in Whites Creek, Tennessee. And we would play there once a month for years. And so he let us use his barn, and I don't know, we just got a bunch of friends and family and made a fun little video. And songs, it's got a little bit of traction. We wrote it several years ago, but put it out about every year. This year it seems to kind of caught on a little bit.
Yeah, it is a great song and a great video as far as that goes. And I know you'll be seeing that in just a second. As I said, I know you're going to love it too. But before we begin with that, Batson Haines, we want to thank you so much for coming on the show today. Come back anytime you guys want something new to plug, and maybe we'll have you back sometime.
Absolutely. Like I said,
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Some new stuff coming after the first of the year, so we'll get back in touch and talk to you again, Paul.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Okay, well, here it is. Santa's having a tailgate that starts right now.
Santa's having a tailgate. He parked his sleigh out on the frozen lake, unhooked the reindeer, brought some ice cold North Pole beer. It's a party fit for a king, kicking off Christmas Eve. The presents might be a day late, 'cause Santa's having a tailgate. Follow the bright star in the sky till you see a string of lights. It leads to the holler where the party is. You can stop under the holly for a little kiss.
Look for elves and three wise men,
And a little drummer boy beating on the skin.
leave your bah humbug at home.
We hope the Grinch is a no-show Jones. Santa's having a tailgate. He parked his sleigh out on the frozen lake. Unhooked the reindeer. Brought some ice cold North Pole beer. It's a party fit for a king. Kicking off Christmas Eve. The presents might be a day late, 'cause Santa's having a tailgate.
We'll build a bonfire and find a tree. Rock around all night with Brenda Lee.
Do shots of moonshine eggnog and put a red nose on the hound dog.
Play cornhole with snowballs.
And jingle bells on a duck call.
We'll all be jolly, 'tis the season, but we won't forget
He's the reason. Santa's having a tailgate. He parked his sleigh out on the frozen lake. Unhooked the reindeer. Brought some ice cold North Pole beer. It's a party fit for a king. Kicking off Christmas Eve. The presents might be a day late, 'cause Santa's having a tailgate. Santa's having a tailgate. He parked his sleigh out on the frozen lake. Unhooked the reindeer. Brought some ice cold North Pole beer. It's a party fit for a king. Kicking off Christmas Eve. The presents might be a day late, 'cause Santa's having a tailgate.
Yeah, the cookies and milk will have to wait.
'Cause Santa's having a tailgate.
Party fit for a king. Kicking off Christmas Eve. The presents might be a day late, but Santa's having a tailgate.